What can you learn about creating a strong and profitable business from three of the greatest entrepreneurs in history whose combined personal wealth is well over $100 billion? Well, we're going to find out, and you'll get some fresh ideas, motivation and inspiration that you can use to move your business forward, especially if you're thinking about creating and selling information products. So this will show you how to find your passion so you can build a business that you love and build a brand that you can be proud of. Hey guys, I'm Mick Meaney and welcome to Profit Co-Pilot. Today we're going to look at advice from three of the most successful and recognized names in the business world, and then we're going to draw a common parallel between each of them so you can see what their number one secret to success is. And you're also going to see how you can use that knowledge for yourself to produce the biggest long-term rewards for your business. And then I'm going to show you how to actually implement that advice, because you know, it's okay learning this stuff, but if you don't use it, if you don't do anything with the advice, then it kind of becomes useless, right? So I'm going to give you an exercise that will help you to take the action you need to get the results you want and build a strong business that you can be proud of. So today we're going to start off by checking out a few short clips, and you're going to learn a single lesson for success from three entrepreneurs, and you're going to see how it fits into the bigger picture of your online business. So let's start with the legendary Warren Buffett, who is one of the most profitable investors of all time and one of the richest men on the planet. We're also going to see if that lesson resonated as true with the late iconic Steve Jobs, whose lasting influence has changed the way we use technology forever and turned Apple into the biggest company on earth as a result. And finally, we're going to see if the multi-billionaire Oprah Winfrey, who's been labeled the queen of all media and is, well, frequently listed as the most influential woman in the world, we're going to see if she shares the same perspective as Warren Buffett and Steve Jobs. Now, here's a hint. When it comes to success, they all say the same thing. And because their approach to business obviously works, I'm going to give you a hands-on exercise that you can do to pull it all together. But listen, as usual, this stuff, it's not for everybody. This isn't for the people who want something for nothing. And just like anything else worth having, this is going to take time and it's going to take some hard work. So with that disclaimer out of the way, I've selected three of the most successful entrepreneurs that I believe we can all learn from. You see, when we study the masters, you know, in any practice or discipline, we look to those who've blazed the trail before us in the hope of finding some golden nuggets, some valuable information that might help us to achieve similar results, right? Now, the truth is, the titans of industry, they all have one thing in common. They all focused on delivering value to their markets. First and foremost, above their own needs, they focused on delivering value. And as a reflection of that, the great thing about the global business community that you and I are in right now, the majority of successful people understand that success breeds success. And that means when we share and exchange knowledge and ideas, it's actually good for everybody. So the great thing about entrepreneurship is successful people actively encourage other people to become successful. They focus on serving other people first. They focus on delivering absolute value to their market. And that's why people like Steve Jobs, Oprah, and Warren Buffett, that's why they share their knowledge. Each one delivers absolute value to their industry. So let's see what we can learn from each of them. Let's start with Warren Buffett and find out what he has to say. So just check out this short clip and see what he says, and I'll see you in a minute.
You find your passion. I was very, very lucky to find it when I was 7 or 8 years old, and fortunately, my children have found their passion. One son loves farming like nothing else. One son loves music like everything else, and all three of them love philanthropy and what they get to do. You're lucky in life when you find it, and you can't guarantee you're going to find it in your first job out. But I always tell the college students that come out, I say, take the job that you would take if you were independently wealthy. You're going to do well at it.
Okay, welcome back. So, Warren Buffett believes that finding your passion is the key. So, let's see what Oprah has got to say.
Everybody has a calling, and your real job in life is to figure out as soon as possible what that is, who you were meant to be, and begin to honor that in the best way possible for yourself. We have seen over the years on the Oprah Show so many people who've been able to rise to success in their life, and only able to rise to success because they answered the call. Lots of people think that it's about being famous or about being known or about doing big, incredible things. Sometimes the calling is right in your own neighborhood. Sometimes the calling is something that was just a whisper to you. And when you begin to honor that whisper and to follow that, you end up being the best that you could be. So in my own life, I have to say that I had no idea that I would end up being who I have become, but I had a strong belief that the calling was something greater than what Mississippi was showing me. The calling was greater than my front yard. The calling was greater than what my grandmother believed that my life could be.
Right, as we can see, Oprah also believes that success starts with finding your true calling, which is, very similar to what we've learned from Warren Buffett, right? So now let's go ahead and find out what the late, great Steve Jobs had to say.
People say you have to have a lot of passion for what you're doing, and it's totally true. And the reason is because it's so hard that if you don't, any rational person would give up. It's really hard, and you have to do it over a sustained period of time. So if you don't love it, if you're not having fun doing it, and you don't really love it, you're going to give up. And that's what happens to most people, actually. If you really look at the ones that ended up being successful, unquote, in the eyes of society and the ones that didn't, oftentimes it's the ones that are successful loved what they did so they could persevere when it got really tough. And the ones that didn't love it quit because they're sane, right? Who would want to put up with this stuff if you don't love it? So it's a lot of hard work, and it's a lot of worrying constantly. And if you don't love it, you're going to fail. So you got to love it. You got to have passion.
Okay, so Steve Jobs also said that we need to have passion for what we do. Now, we've got three of the wealthiest, the most influential entrepreneurs of all time, all saying the same thing. It's pretty clear that in order to become successful, we have to start doing what we love, finding something that we can believe in and building a business around that. So that seems to really be the starting point. And that's actually how I started Profit Copilot. You see, years before I started this website, I built another website and I believed in that. Now, some of you probably already know that site. It exposed corruption and injustice, things like modern day slavery and that kind of thing. And that website made me feel good because I was contributing something positive back into the world. Anyway, over the next 15 years or so, I noticed that I also felt passionate about the marketing side of things, that my interest had shifted into the technical and psychological stuff. So things like getting traffic, copywriting, figuring out how to sell without being weird, creating products, shooting videos, all that stuff. You see, I'd noticed that those activities turned out to be a great deal of fun. I'd become as equally passionate about the marketing side of things. And because I'd already grown a website from nothing to millions of hits, I felt qualified to share what I'd learned over the years. And the end result of that is Profit Copilot. It's these videos today. But what if you don't know what your passion is? What if you're stuck for ideas? Well, you're in luck. I've got a quick exercise that you can do right now that will help you to unlock your passion so you can start to move forward. I'm going to ask you to answer a few questions, and when you answer them, you'll have the building blocks you need to discover what kind of information product to make, what kind of website to build, what kind of videos to shoot, or what type of podcasts to start. And then once you know what that is, we're going to drill down and find out exactly who you should be targeting. We're going to find out exactly who wants to buy the type of product you want to make. We're going to find out ways to deliver value to your market and deliver reliable information that works, that genuinely helps people to improve their situation and genuinely helps people to solve a problem. I'm going to ask you just 4 questions, and when you answer them, you'll have found your passion. Okay, so think about all the things you love doing. Maybe you love cooking or writing or teaching. Maybe you love talking. Maybe you love creating things. Maybe you enjoy, I don't know, surfing or playing guitar. Maybe it's sewing or stitching. Maybe it's running or working out. Maybe it could even be something like you enjoy maintaining a fish tank or playing golf. Think about how you spend your time, what you invest your time into. Think about the activities that make you feel happy, the things that you love talking about. So make a big long list of all the activities that matter to you. And now ask yourself this question: of all those awesome things, which topic do you feel like you can help other people to learn more about? Now, you don't have to know a lot about it. You don't have to be an expert. You don't have to know everything about it. You just have to know enough to help someone get started. Just enough to help someone understand the basics. Okay, so once you know what you'd like to help people with, ask yourself, who are they? Who are the people you want to help? They might be people just like you. They might be people who are now where you once had been. Think about the circumstances they're in, the questions that they have, the problem that they need to overcome. Then ask yourself, what do they need help with that will help them to overcome that problem? What's the solution? How would you help them to solve the problem? Okay, now ask yourself, once you've given them the solution, how do they change? What happens afterwards? What's the end result that they'll get once they apply your advice and your solution? Now write down the answers and have a look at everything that you've got. Now, you'll know what you feel passionate about, you'll know who needs your help, you now know how to help them, and you know how it changes their lives. So, you've got the outline, the formula, the template that you can use to build a business that you'll enjoy, that makes you feel complete, that gives you a purpose. And that's amazing, right? But what makes this so powerful? Well, look at the questions. Out of all these 4 questions, only 1 is about you. The other 3 questions is about other people. Most of the questions are about the people you can help. They are, who are the people you can help? What do they need? And how do they change? These questions force you to look beyond yourself and beyond your own needs, and they force you to look for ways to deliver value to your market, just like we learned at the beginning of this. Now, the most successful people all put their own needs aside and deliver value to the market first. Okay, awesome. Now, before I go, I've got an extra bonus for you. I'll show you how to find your ideal customers. So let's drill down and find out specifically who's going to buy your stuff. Okay, here we're going to narrow down the number of people in your niche. We're going to reduce the amount of people in your marketplace. And I know that this might sound counterproductive. I mean, why on earth would you want to limit the amount of people that you can sell to, right? Well, there's actually a very good reason for that. You see, the internet is so big, we need to target only the people who are most likely to buy. Online, we tend to do better by selling to a smaller, specific group of people. So I've got 3 more questions that you need to answer that will help you to do that. So for this exercise, I want you to decide inside your niche, of all the people that exist inside that niche, and there's, probably millions, ask yourself, are there a lot of people who are motivated to buy a solution? Are they spending money? Is money being spent? And then ask yourself, are the people in your niche actively looking for a solution? Are they motivated enough to start searching for help? And then finally, ask yourself, are they having trouble finding a good solution? Or can you provide a better solution? So what's happening here, at each stage we're narrowing down. We're only targeting the people who are most likely to buy from us. And when we do this, it means that we don't have to use any marketing hype or high pressure sales tactics, because you're only dealing with the people who already want the solution. And we also cut out a large portion of the competition when we do it like this. And we actually save money on advertising too, because we're only targeting a small group of highly motivated buyers. Okay, so we've learned a lot from this today, and now you should have a roadmap on how to deliver value to your market, because when you do, you instantly become a lot more attractive to the people in your niche. When you demonstrate that you can help them by actually helping them, then you create trust, which in turn creates profit and happy, loyal customers who become repeat customers year after year. And that's how we build a strong, stable business. Okay, so you've seen what 3 of the world's most iconic minds all have in common. You've learned that the strongest businesses all start with passion, and you've answered the 4 vital questions that every responsible entrepreneur needs to ask themselves. So now you know which area to focus on, which area will produce the highest reward for you, because it's something that you believe in and it's something that you feel passionate about. So you know who your customers are, you know who needs your help, you know how to help them, and you know what kind of results you can give them. Then as a bonus, we figured out how to narrow down the marketplace and find out who's most likely to buy your stuff. And as a result, you don't have to worry about competing in crowded marketplaces or having to use weird sales tactics. Okay, I think that's a lot of stuff, and I think I'm going to leave it there for today, guys. I hope you've found this to be immensely valuable, and I hope you're filled with fresh ideas, motivation and inspiration. And if you have found this to be useful, then you might like my other videos and podcasts, and you can get them when you visit profitcopilot.com/subscribe. Okay, thank you for checking this out today, and I will see you again next week.